All right, just want to make sure I do a quick sound check. Can everybody hear me? All right, in case anybody can't hear us, just send us a message or a question, and we'll try to figure out how I can help you guys out. All right, perfect. Well, hello and welcome everyone to our webinar. My name is Monal Patel from Unbxd, and this is latest webinar in our series for this year. In Unbxd's webinar series, we talk about very specific topics that help online retailers solve challenges and identify opportunities to grow their business. In this webinar, we'll take you through how you should see device-specific intelligence to make smart merchandising decisions this holiday season. We recently spoke on this topic at eTail East, and the overwhelming response we received prompted us to do a special extended version of this topic. For those of you that aren't familiar with Unbxd, here's a little bit about us. So Unbxd has grown tremendously in the past few years. We are a San Francisco Bay Area-based company with about 1,200 retailers across over 40 countries, 400 retailers just here in the US, and we've grown primarily because of 4 unique differentiators that we bring to the table. We've solved a lot of product discovery problems that were not solved before. We create a custom solution for every vertical of the retail industry. We don't necessarily do a copy-paste of our solution for everybody. And we have tremendous capabilities in infrastructure and scale. Currently, we serve about almost 750 million interactions per month, almost pushing towards 800 million and crossing that chasm. Here's some of our customers. As you can see today, at the enterprise level, we work with the largest retailers in the world. Ashley Furniture, biggest furniture store in the world. H.H. Gregg, a large electronics and appliances store. U.S. Auto Parts, a large auto parts business online. Bell's department stores, Pottery Group. We also work with pure brands, Express, Fresh Direct, Deborah Lippman. These are some of the IR 250, IR 500 level companies. We also work with a lot of different platforms, essentially making our solution platform agnostic. So today, we'll be talking about product discovery and merchandising and how shoppers are increasingly using more devices to discover products and shop online. Just to get started, we'll try and understand shopper behavior and how a customer switches between multiple devices to confirm a purchase. We will also be discussing how we can encourage and improve product discovery across devices, especially mobile, where most retailers often ignore that the user experience needs to be very different for different devices. We'll also be looking at a success story from one of our customers, where we've optimized merchandising very differently for each device, achieving spectacular results. Finally, we'll be looking at some of the data we have come across to demonstrate how product discovery varies across devices under very specific conditions. So let's start with understanding the shopper or the buyer journey. Right? Here, we're showing you the shopper path to purchase on the website, whether it's mobile device or a desktop device. Shopper can browse or search to discover products. Ultimately, she likes a product or two and adds them to the cart, makes a payment, and goes through the confirmation page. As a retailer, you have the opportunity to market to her at every step of the way and give her the access to discover relevant products. We will talk about how product discovery can change based on the device she's using. And that is the focus of our conversation today. Now, we all know path to purchase is not a straightforward, straight line, and neither is product discovery. And this is an important realization because it's very important to understand how product discovery changes in the context and how context determines a device choice. So one of the interesting things about product discovery is that context plays a deciding factor in the device used for shopping online. We've broken this down into 3 segments. Number 1 is when. The time of the day plays an important role in what device a person uses. For example, the morning commute to work might mean a person browses or explores on mobile. However, the same person might be browsing on a desktop during the afternoon or working hours. After a long day at work, the device of choice might be a tablet while they're sitting at the sofa, sitting at their living room sofa. Second is what. the product that someone intends to buy also drives device choice. For example, we have seen higher conversions for smaller, low-value products on mobile. However, when it comes to purchases in electronics, shoppers usually prefer a large screen, which allows them to view the detailed specifications, which is very important in deciding to buy which product. Third is where. The location is another dimension for time of the day. For example, this could be a mobile shopper on the subway, going to work or coming home, a desktop in the office, and a tablet in the living room. Sometimes this also extends to the state of mind where a customer might be with friends and family and seek their opinion while using a larger screen. This tells you that consumers definitely use more devices. What the industry research shows that today's shopper is a multi-device shopper. And that is an important realization. So let's get into how multiple devices influence product discovery with a specific focus on mobile. Okay. So what is the biggest distinction between mobile and desktop is the use of site search on mobile for product discovery. Industry data shows more than 2/3 of your shoppers are using site search on mobile. I just want to take a quick pause to make sure there is the audio. Okay, perfect. Customers can still hear us. That's awesome. Okay, so based on the industry data, as we mentioned, 2/3 of your customers use site search over navigation. Now, why is that? Why do customers on mobile prefer search? Because it's faster and it's easier. Customers are used to the experience of Google and Amazon, and they like to discover products faster, and it should be easy to do so as well. So let's take a quick example of how exactly a customer will use site search versus navigation and why site search is more prevalent compared to navigation. So here's an example of H&M. Let's say I wanted to buy a black jacket, for example. So step one would be I'll click on the menu bar on the top left corner. Second click would be I'll click on the men's link. Third would be I'll click on the jackets or the jackets and coats section. Fourth click then comes to jackets and vests. Fifth would be trying to click on the filter menu and filter down with the color black, and then hit the apply button. And so the seventh click is where you actually see black jackets using the navigation method. And you can see how cumbersome this is. Versus with search, I could just type in black jacket or about to type in black jacket, and site search will very quickly get me to black jackets. So this brings up to a very important point. If site search is so important for mobile, it is extremely important to make sure that the search results for using site search are extremely relevant. In fact, if the experience is not good, industry research shows that 80% will abandon the site. So the onus is very much high on site search performing relevantly. And mobile shoppers search more, but are also facing a lot more challenging issues. The reason is the screen size. It results in 5 times more typos, but the screen real estate for product is also 5 times smaller. This means that the search better match up to visitor expectations. Otherwise, they just assume that the site does not sell what they're looking for, which is the worst case scenario. It also has a dramatic effect on the desktop side because most visitors have their first touch point on mobile before going ahead and making a buy on the desktop. Now, typically, marketers tailor desktop experiences and shrink them for the smaller screen. However, shoppers' interaction on mobile is very different than desktop. So let's take a look at some of the data that demonstrates that difference. Okay, so mobile is impatient. The average time spent by mobile-based visitors is half of what desktop-based visitors spend. For the same number of visits, a buy or an exit decision is made in half the time, which is why we need to make sure that there is relevant engagement from the very beginning, which can lead to a long-term relationship with the shopper. The more you keep that shopper engaged on the mobile phone, the better your chances are that they will buy. Mobile needs convincing. Mobile visitors make multiple return visits before they make a buying decision. For the same purchases, we see that not only do mobile visitors return more often, which can be attributed to a higher number of interruptions during the course of their interaction with your site, but also spend lesser time overall on the site to take the final decision. Mobile is unforgiving. Search visitors form the major chunk of shoppers on mobile sites. However, they are 74 to 80% more likely to abandon your site after a poor search experience as compared to your desktop visitors. Because your desktop visitors may have a lot more options in terms of an easier navigation compared to mobile, they might be a little bit more forgiving because they have an alternative to do product discovery. But on mobile, if a search experience is not good, they usually don't give second chances. Okay, so here's an observation that we've made in that decisions made with mobile devices are all about impulses and headlines. If we were to interpret how it works, shopping on mobile devices caters to the right side of your brain, which is all about emotion. This is where we focus on the shopper's impulse. However, in most cases, this leads to shoppers at a later stage to use a desktop to view details and specifications for a more rational analysis, which is where the left side of the brain comes into play. The left side is all about logic and calculations. This is where you decide how much RMS output you want on your subwoofers, or whether you want i5 or an i7 processor on your computer. It's interesting to note that for electronics, the decision always boils down to the left side of the brain. Okay. So switching gears now, since we've established how mobile product discovery is important and why site search on mobile is extremely important, let's get into what is actually coming forward so that we can look forward to the holiday season and what can we do during the holiday season and what are some of the hacks that we can propose for different devices. Okay, so every holiday season continues to be a record-breaking online shopping season as savvy retailers tap into insight and new innovations with each Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and other top days. This trend needs to be supported by targeted multi-device merchandising strategies. So let's get into some of those details. Okay. The graphic here shows the number of daily desktop, mobile, and multi-platform visits to the retail category in 2015. There are a handful of key takeaways here. Mobile traffic significantly outpaces desktop traffic every single day, including Cyber Monday. Mobile traffic peaks on Black Friday, while desktop traffic peaks on Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is the peak day for overall multi-platform web traffic, but Black Friday is not far behind. Desktop traffic has a distinct weekly pattern with troughs occurring during the weekends, while mobile traffic is much more consistent across different days of the week. All right, so first step in the merchandising hack is capturing unique needs of a segment using personalization. So what do we really mean by that? What we want to show here is you want to customize the offers based on some geo-targeting. For example, let's say the dresses on the left are one of the top 10 fall season sales by visitors from New York and Illinois. But these had 0 purchases from California. On the other hand, the dresses on the right are among the top 10 fall season sales contributors in California, but nobody in New York or Illinois bought them. And it makes sense. The dresses on the left are made for the fall winter weather. Dresses on the right are made for a little bit warmer, sunny weather that you might find in California. You can create custom landing pages within minutes for specific holiday traffic or customer segments. So another hack which is important is to create occasion-based experiences. Look into your historic data and make a list of trending terms on your site and create customized landing pages for each of them. So here what we've shown an example is either red nail paints, or you might say Christmas colors. Customers might come in and say, I'm looking for something for Christmas as a holiday season, or Thanksgiving as a holiday season. And what might be the trending products you might want to show specifically for those terms? Customers might also come in and look for sale items. or holiday sale. You want to keep an eye on those terms and create custom landing pages for those specific terms so that customers can actually see the right set of products you want them to see. Okay. Second is crucial for this holiday season, going local. Here, we are talking about capturing mobile traffic with high purchase intent. Now, let's first establish why is it so important to think local. Retailers like IKEA, Macy's, and REI participating are also focusing on increasing revenue by going local this holiday season. Many of them are also taking advantage of the local inventory positioning. So 1/3 of the mobile searches are now local, as you can see. Google's own customer research report shows on the go and to have local intent using mobile. 50% of local mobile product searches within a store within 24 hours are also local. So local searches convert 2.5 times higher than smartphone searches without local intent. Here's an example of how we can show an in-store inventory of products to shoppers, because you want to drive that in-store customer, that online customer to in-store. For example, here, Walmart inventory checker search on website and how it works. So you can see right there next to the product discovery, there is an in-store price and the ability to buy that particular product in-store. And compare that to the desktop, you can see how it shows estimated quantities in stock near a store for a store near you. Okay. The third piece is enabling discovery of your most profitable and popular products. This is to achieve your sweet spot, results that add to your bottom line, plus products that shoppers are most likely to buy, because you want to make sure that you are showing the right set of popular products when the customers are really looking for it. And this usually tends to be trending products. So right in the autocomplete, this is the first interaction a customer has with site search. You want to use intelligent visual autocomplete to highlight trending products right in there in the autocomplete. Now, this is an example of one of our customers, US Patriot Tactical, where we're showing popular products in the desktop form. But you can also see how we try to show the same trending products on the mobile front as well. You want to make sure that a lot of customers are looking to buy that popular product, get them quickly to that particular page. Highlight top sellers. So show recommended top selling complementary or related products on the category pages to increase those click-throughs. Now here you can see an example. If we're looking for laptops, you can also show a series of top sellers, because usually some few products during the holiday season are going to become your top sellers. And customers are usually looking for that top seller because they might have seen an in-store ad or an ad that came to the flyers at home or on some other website through your PPC campaigns. Okay. So those were our merchandising hacks. Let's get into a customer success story where we have actually executed this multi-device merchandising and optimized the experience for the customer. So I would like to take you through a real-world case study of a leading retailer who optimized multi-device merchandising. All right. So here, one of our customers discovered that search exit rates for mobile were considerably higher than desktop. Based on customer feedback, they realized the issue was due to the fact that customers couldn't see a diverse set of results in the first few positions. They simply didn't know that the retailer had a large selection, and they exited as they couldn't see anything they liked in the first 15, 20 products. The same customer also discovered that specific Calvin Klein shirts were seeing higher click-throughs, and this was on the desktop site, with 2 of these SKUs actually seeing the highest number of add to carts on desktop devices. However, shoppers had to scroll through a long list of products and apply a number of filters to reach these products, making the user experience a little frustrating. So, how did we do this? Create a more device-optimized merchandising. Let me show you the results first. So as you can see here, we had a 41% increase on mobile and 23% increase in average conversion across all devices, simply by making sure and allowing the retailer to merchandise based on device. And you can see with targeted merchandising versus without targeted merchandising, the difference in how the performance was. So how did we do it? Let's get into the specific details of how we executed this. So to fix this, merchants decided to slot results from 3 different brands in the first 9 positions for mobile. So here's our backend dashboard. Logged into the dashboard, specifically created a segment for mobile users for casual shirts, and showed 9 distinct types of brand, or 3 different types of brands in the first 9 positions. This was based on the research that customers were looking for variety and they were seeing too much similarity. So creating that diversification in this product discovery. Next, for the desktop version, they actually pinned the popular products to the top position. And this way, it was very easy. As soon as the customers came to that particular page or search for those particular shirts, you'll see those 2 popular shirts as a top selection. All right. Now let's get into a device-based product discovery and merchandising trend. And this is something our data scientists at Unbxd have done a lot of research on and have come up with specific insights for device-specific product discovery. All right. So here on the table, you can see 47% lower conversions from product display page on mobile phones. Now, why is that? What does that really mean? That mobile visitors are converting at a smaller AOV, but also almost 47% of the time they're converting less than your desktop counterparts. However, you can see that the visit contribution of mobile is more than 50%. 29% higher AOV on desktop versus mobile, 16% higher time spent on tablets versus desktops, and average value of products viewed on desktop is higher than on mobile. So what does that really mean? Visitors on mobile tend to view lower priced products than on desktop. And what is some of the action that we can really take is to segment visitors based on device types, highlighting lower value products for mobile first visitors. Now, here's a very important distinction. It is not lower priced products. It is more important to know that it's lower value products. So what is the perception of your customers in terms of how they see that this is a lower value product, but not necessarily just lower priced product? Okay. Here is a metrics description based on visit duration and device types. So you can see here for DMT stands for desktop, mobile, tablet. 4 distinct values: page views, visits, average order value, and conversions for every single one of them. What we wanted to really distinguish is the fact that the more time a customer spends on your site, the more the page views, the more the visits, the average order value increases, and the conversion also increases. So over 55% of average order value contribution is from visits up to 30 minutes in duration. Only 0.2% average revenue per visit contribution for visits shorter than 1 minute. So you can see they know exactly what they want to buy. They might come in and buy it. But the more time the customer spends on the site, the more the average order value, which also means that you need to focus and making sure that the customer is engaged once they come to the site. So what is the finding? Visitors spending 10 to 30 minutes on a site provide the highest average order revenue per visit. Action is segment visitors based on the time spent, where higher value products can be displayed if they have spent over 15 minutes on your site. Next is metrics based on device screen sizes. So here we've distinguished between a large, medium, and small screen size, how the visits and its conversion happens, the time spent on each of those devices, the page views, time spent on the site, and the average order value. So you can see here 515% higher conversions on devices with large screens versus devices with small screens. 55 of 100 visitors exit from the first page when they use a smaller device. Very important metric. So what does that finding really tell us? The average order value for mobile devices is pulled down by the smaller and medium-sized screens. So the action is to segment visitors based on screen sizes to optimize the browsing experience. What kind of products do you want to show? Most of the optimizations so far in the industry, what you've seen is how to show the content. What should that product block look like? Where should the images be? What kind of images do we show? What we are really talking about is the focus now needs to shift on what type of products to show. Next is based on region. So here you can see 15% higher conversions from West Coast versus Midwest. East Coast and West Coast are definitely doing much better than Midwest and the rest of the US, or as an average in terms of conversions. Metrics based on cities versus and regions. So you can see here California's top 5 cities and their average order value. Okay, let's take a step back and try to explain it through. Okay, there we go. So 5.5% higher AOV from California state visitors versus the general US population. 4% lower visitor conversions from top 10 cities in California versus the general US population. You can also see 3% lower average order value from the top 10 US cities versus the general US population, and 12.5% lower visit conversions from top 10 cities versus the general US population. So what does that really tell us? Is that visitors from top cities have lower conversions than the countrywide average. That means you want to segment visitors based on their regions and cities to display products with a lower AOV for visitors from the top 15 cities. All right. So what are the final key takeaways? We've talked a lot about very different, very ranging topics regarding device-based merchandising and how should you be looking at devices, and from a browser experience, from a user experience, from a product discovery experience. So the key takeaways are context is a key driver for device choice, and each device contributes to the product discovery journey. Search is the primary mode for product discovery on mobile. It's absolutely clear now. You can see in the examples we shared, navigation is extremely cumbersome. Search will become the primary mode for product discovery. The more you optimize, the faster you can take a customer to that search, to that product that they're looking for. The better their experience will be for them, the less exit rates we'll see on mobile. A one-size-fits-all approach does not work for multi-device merchandising. We absolutely saw that in the analytics from our lab, from the data science team. Mobile conversions are slightly lower, but the average order value is also quite lower compared to desktop. So should we, to increase the conversion, optimize the kinds of products that we show on mobile? Segmentation is the key to your merchandising strategy. We talked about segmenting based on device. We talked about segmenting based on geography. You saw that different regions try to buy different sets of products. We showed you an example of how a particular set of top 10 selling products in New York and Illinois had 0 sales in California. So if you're boosting those types of products on your dresses page, let's say, for example, and if a customer coming from California sees those same exact products, you know that they're not going to convert well. So you want to make sure that you show the right set of products to the right segment. To take your holiday strategy up to notch this year, go local. You want to make sure that if you have a local store strategy, you want to give the customer the option that if they cannot or don't want to wait to buy online, they can go to the store and pick it up from store as well. All right, let's see if we have any questions. Okay, wow, tons of them. Okay, based on the time that we have, we could probably take 2 of them. Now, if we do not get to your specific question, please rest assured that our team will reach out to you and answer the question over a phone call, over a demonstration, or any kind of conversation that you're open to. Okay. So question 1, we are doing a lot of what you mentioned in the webinar. Would you have any suggestions on how search strategies would differ for mobile from desktop for a large catalog and high traffic retailer? Okay, got it. So there's so many things that need to be taken into consideration. Obviously, when you talk about a large catalog and high traffic, that means specifically for search and for mobile, you might see a lot of one-word or two-word queries. Compared to desktop, you might not see a lot of long-tail queries. That means you want to make sure that your two-word queries are absolutely optimized from a contextual relevance standpoint. But one thing that recently caught our attention was this recent mobile usability study done by Baymard, which found that it's common behavior for mobile users to use the main search bar to find products within the category they're currently browsing. So let's say a customer actually gets to a category, maybe they clicked on the banner on the homepage of your mobile site, and they want to find a product and they got into a men's category or a shirts category. A lot of times they might actually, because of the smaller screen size, search within the shirts category. So for shoppers, when they're browsing a particular category, it's most logical for them to expect that when using the search, it will search products within that category. Instead, the search bar usually searches for the query on the entire site, which often returns irrelevant results. And this has become a common reason why people abandon mobile sites. The study actually identified this issue on mobile sites of e-commerce giants like Overstock.com, Walmart.com, and many others, and found that close to 94% of sites currently do not support that search functionality. To fix this, you can also allow category dropdowns alongside your main search to allow shoppers to search within the categories from the very beginning. And it's important to keep a tab on such customer behavior studies across your industry, and then analyze if you could identify the same pattern on your website as well. All right. Let's see. Okay. Where's the other question? Got it. There we go. Okay. So here's the other question. Except showing the local store inventory, would you know of some other ways to leverage the Go Local strategy for mobile users? That's an interesting question. So this goes to a little bit of the design aspect of how do you design the experience. I think a while back we saw Barnes & Noble's mobile site display the search bar, followed by the store locator, and finally the menu on the homepage of mobile. So considering that mobile users have a strong purchase intent, we think it's a great way to drive in-store traffic also. So you can very easily remind them to say, yes, you can search for this particular product or any product that you're looking for, but you can also see that in the store inventory. If it's available in store, you can actually go and pick it up today. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate the opportunity to present a lot of findings that we had, a lot of our experience, and thank you for your time. If you have any more questions, if we did not get to all of the questions, but any more questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'll be more than happy to answer them. And if you're interested in looking at a deeper dive on our product and a demo, please sign up online. You can go to unbxd.com or send us an email to me, monal@unbxd.com, or you can also call my number. And thank you again, and we'll see you again next time on our next webinar.